Take a second to remember some of your latest dreams. Recall the environment, the sounds, but most importantly, try and think about the people you interacted with in those dreams. Now that you've had a second to think about it, it's time to ask the important question: have you ever seen this man in your dreams? For those who don't know, back in 2008, a website was created called thisman.org, claiming that every night hundreds of people all across the world dream of this man. The story goes that in early 2006, the patient of a well-known psychiatrist drew a picture of the man whom had been repeatedly appearing in their dreams to give them various advice on their private life. They swear they had never seen or met this man before in their life. The psychiatrist would then place this portrait on their desk and forget about it for a few days, before a separate patient would notice the sketch on the desk and claim that they have also frequently seen this man in their dreams, claiming they had also never seen or met this man before in their life. The psychiatrist then decided to send the sketch over to a few of their other psychiatrist colleagues, requesting they show it to various patients with reoccurring dreams, and within just a few months, 4 more people confirmed seeing this man in their dreams. The website would go seemingly under the radar for a year, until absolutely blowing up online, leading to flyers about this man being put up all across the globe, and this man becoming one of the most recognized faces in the world for a brief period. Numerous people claimed he was in their dreams. Numerous people claimed that they were a real person and that they knew them. Everyone came to know this man. That is, until it was all revealed as an elaborate hoax created by Andrea Nutella as a viral marketing stunt. There was no psychiatrist, no patients, and most importantly, this man was never real. Even though it was just a hoax, the legacy of this man's haunting yet approachable appearance would live on in pop culture, and references to this man would end up being included in movies such as the film Lucid Dream, in television shows like The X-Files, in video games like AI, The Somnium Files, and allegedly film rights to this story were also purchased, though it's likely this film will never see the light of day. But one exceptionally bizarre piece of media I came across, focusing solely on this man, is going to be the subject of our video today. That being a manga called This Man, Sono Kao Mita Mono ni Washi wo, where apparently this man is suddenly a f***ing serial killer. Already off to a bamboozling start, but let's just say, having read through the whole thing, this manga goes places I could not have guessed, even if I tried. The manga began on April 25th of 2018 and concluded just a year later on April 3rd of 2019. This manga was written by Sono Kao and illustrated by Koji Megumin, whom you may already know as the artist of Bloody Monday. While not much is known about the production behind the manga, it's pretty likely that the idea to use an existing infamous property like this man was done in an attempt to capitalize on an already viral figure by using its name and likeness to propel the manga quickly into the spotlight, especially since this was the first manga that Sono Kao ever wrote. But with that background information out of the way, let's take a look at what exactly the manga for This Man is all about. The manga begins by introducing us to our main character, Amano Hakadu, whom is a deeply empathetic, calm, yet serious police officer that also doubles as the force's forensic artist, having an incredible talent at drawing people's faces. The story officially gets moving after Amano secretly meets a mother and daughter, informing him that they recently had someone standing ominously outside of their home, yet can't go to the police about it. The daughter, Hoshiko Mitsuyo, is apparently quite gifted when it comes to picking up people's emotions. Yeah, she's an empath. Dead meme. And once Hoshiko met eyes with this mysterious figure, she was only able to pick up their emotions of extreme hatred. Hoshiko is naturally quite distressed over seeing this figure, and the mother wants to have a sketch done of their face in hopes to confirm what she saw. Amano then sketches up this man, whom Hoshiko confirms as the face she saw, and Amano himself also vaguely recognizes this face, feeling that he has seen it somewhere before. After leaving, Amano can't seem to get the face and where he might recognize it out of his head, then promptly sending it to his group chat of friends asking them if they recognize it too. leading to one of them noting that it looks quite similar to the man who appears in dreams. While the actual hoax obviously went over a bit differently, this man, within the manga, was supposedly an urban legend that blew up in New York back in 2006, with various people claiming they saw a man with a unibrow in their dreams before various sketches of said man were released to the public, leading to thousands of people claiming to have seen this man in their dreams worldwide. Also noting that around the same time, there was an American company doing some secret experiments. Whatever that means. Amano notes that urban legend took place while he was in grade school, and perhaps maybe he just saw it on the news or something. Then further lying to his friends about why he even asked them in the first place, claiming to have seen this man recently in Japan. We then immediately cut to this man murdering Hoshiko's mother, as Hoshiko hides, witnessing the whole ordeal. And after committing the murder, this man says, "To the one who sees this man, death will come." Amano gets called into the police station soon after to talk to Hoshiko about her mother's murder, confirm it was indeed this man via the sketch from the day before. But one key piece of information is that rather than feeling extreme hatred, this time around the only emotion Hoshiko felt coming from this man was the feeling that this was entertaining. Amano heads home a little later, pondering on how this urban legend could possibly be connected to this recent murder, before he suddenly realizes his house is on fire. Thinking his girlfriend Leah is trapped inside, he instantly rushes into the building before realizing it was a trap. On his way out, he makes eye contact with this man, and hearing the phrase, once again, "To the one who sees this man, death will come." Then noticing this man has Leah's jacket, assuming he must have kidnapped her, or worse. But before he can do anything about it, this man disappears into the crowd of people that formed outside the burning apartment. The next day, we learn that Leah was actually okay the entire time, but Hoshiko managed to escape from the hospital she was staying at during the whole ordeal, leading Amano to try and track her down, eventually locating her with two other officers on a nearby bridge. But unfortunately, Hoshiko quickly informs Amano that the other two officers present are actually the enemy. With his quick thinking, Amano grabs Hoshiko and jumps off the bridge before the officers can shoot, thus leaving the two in hiding, as they can't trust the police who are now seemingly a part of this conspiracy, and above all else, they have to watch out for this man. Quite an interesting introduction to this roller coaster of events, if you ask me. Lots of unanswered questions, an ominous force looming over our main characters, and a deep mystery to solve. So while I personally don't recommend this manga, this is your chance to leave the video and read it for yourself if you're interested and don't want to get spoiled. Because now we're getting into spoiler territory for the rest of the manga, going over why exactly it is so bizarre past this point. The first thing to discuss should of course be this man themselves, or more accurately, themselves. As while the manga is called This Man, it actually doesn't feature them very much at all. Mostly just sticking them at the end of certain chapters to let you know that this man is still lurking around doing whatever this man does. But the characters themselves really only encounter them about 3 to 4 times throughout the entire manga. And as to how there is apparently more than one of this man, well, we'll get to that momentarily. Instead of focusing on this man, the manga instead primarily focuses on Amano and Hoshiko attempting to solve the case while being forced into hiding. As while they are initially thrust into hiding because of the corrupt police officers, they are forced to stay in hiding because of a YouTuber. Yes, you heard that correctly. Where this manga gets particularly outrageous is this plot point right here. Because the true enemy of this manga is not this man, but rather this YouTuber by the name of Kodama. His YouTube channel, the Kodama channel, is apparently immensely popular. The week before the current events of the story, Kodama's brother, a well-renowned doctor, was murdered by this man. Because the police weren't taking him seriously, Kodama decided to do a little digging himself and found out about Hoshiko's case, seeing that she went missing just a day prior and could also be connected to this man. Because of that, he sent out a YouTube video offering a reward of 5 million yen to anyone who can either bring him Hoshiko or provide substantial information about her whereabouts. Because of that video, everyone on the streets and their mother now recognize Hoshiko and are even trying to capture her, which forces the two into hiding even further. And while at first it seems that Kodama's intentions are for the greater good of bringing this man to justice, as it turns out, this is far from his true motive. If you remember from earlier when Amano first mentioned this man to his group chat of friends, the rest of the manga involves Amano asking each of his 5 longtime friends from childhood for help as he is forced into hiding. The only issue is that he also realizes that the reason he was even targeted by this man from the start is because one of these 5 friends is somehow connected to this man, as they were the only people he ever mentioned the sketch to. So while getting help from each of these friends, he's also looking to discover which one is the culprit. The first he asks for help would be Jinai, who sells him out for that 5 million yen reward on Hoshiko. But he comes to his senses at the last second, only to get murdered by this man, as he was not the one affiliated with him. Jinai's murder also makes Amano officially a wanted man in the eyes of the police. The second is Shichijo, whom is a rich recluse offering to give them a place to stay. However, he has some issues, to say the least.
I'm in danger!
And decides to lock Amano in his basement to keep him there forever, which he apparently did in the past with his wife, leaving her down there to die. Amano manages to fight his way out of the situation with Hoshiko's help, and Shichijo agrees to turn himself in for murder after this whole ordeal is over, silently assisting Amano in the background for the rest of the manga. The third is Kuonji, an undercover private detective who helps directly assist Amano for the rest of the manga, and even helps him directly deal with the corrupt police officers who have been hunting them, also revealing a clue that this man has been lingering in the background of all their lives ever since elementary school. The fourth and fifth are Kuwamizu and Kikuchi, whom Amano invites together to finally discover the rat among their group. As it turns out, it was Kuwamizu who leaked the information, as she ended up having a relationship with Kodama the YouTuber in the past, and told him her story regarding this man. So while I am skipping over a few prominent characters and details, this is how our YouTuber friend's motive and plan is revealed, along with the true identity of this man. Gonna have to ask you to brace yourself, because this is about to get very convoluted and very stupid. Apparently, Kodama wanted to kill his older brother because they were a jerk to him in childhood. So he staged this murder using Kuwamizu's story of this man from the past to make it happen. But his brother was not his only target. As in the past, Kodama ran into Hoshiko and her mother while filming an old YouTube video that involved interacting with the public. Hoshiko was so disgusted by Kodama that she gave him a death stare and wrote a note to her mother saying that he was just that. I mean, to be fair, he was basically a prank channel, so calling him disgusting is one of the least insulting things you could say. After seeing that note in the trash, Kodama's already fragile little ego was completely shattered, and he vowed to get revenge on Hoshiko in any way possible, opting to create a fake case involving this man to torment Hoshiko for as long as possible, beginning with the murder of her mother. That said, he didn't expect Amano to get involved, which ultimately foiled all of his plans. I mentioned that there were 2 versions of this man earlier, one who apparently exerts the emotions of entertainment, and one that exerts the emotions of pure hatred. Apparently, Kodama dressed up as this man to torment Hoshiko outside of her home, which makes Kodama this man with pure hatred for her. But the entertainment version of this man was someone else entirely. Completely by coincidence. Back in elementary school, Amano's twin brother Tsurugi went with Kuwamizu out on a little adventure to their rich friend's mansion to look for monsters or foreigners. Ah yes, the childhood pastime of looking for foreigners. My favorite. While they were there, they stumbled across a van with people robbing their rich friend, and inside the van was this man. The 2 of them hid in the van once this man came after them, and Tsurugi decided to take the fall to protect Kuwamizu, stepping out of the van and claiming he was sorry and just playing. Well, this man then proceeds to absolutely deck Tsurugi out, drag him into the woods, smack him in the head with a shovel, and then bury him on the spot. After this man left, Kuwamizu dug Tsurugi back up, to find he was actually still alive. However, his mind was completely shattered. So naturally, rather than calling for help, Kuwamizu decided to just leave him out there to fend for himself in the woods for the next 11 years. What a great friend, leading everyone else, and especially Amano, to believe that Tsurugi went missing and died that very day. And we also learned that apparently this man that attempted to kill Tsurugi passed away 10 years ago. So, if the actual this man is dead, who is this man that reeks entertainment now? Well, after meeting with Kodama, Kuwamizu revealed this story to him as she had been burdened with this dark secret her entire life, and even took him out to the woods to meet the animal that Tsurugi had become. Without Kuwamizu's knowledge, Kodama then took Tsurugi, gave him plastic surgery, and turned him into a lookalike of this man, the man that tried to murder him 11 years prior, now sending him out to kill people for fun and do his bidding. So while Amano was never actually intended to be involved in this convoluted scheme, his twin brother was this man the entire f***ing time. Like, what? I can't even begin to explain how swafferdonked I was at how dumb this plot twist ended up being. A rich YouTuber took our main character's mentally unstable, missing and presumed dead twin brother, whom is living in the woods, turned him into a killing machine that looks like the urban legend of this man, who also tried to kill them 11 years prior, to get revenge on a middle school girl who looked at him funny by killing her mother and tormenting her endlessly, all while disguising this entire thing as essentially a weird YouTube ghost story to cover up his older brother's murder at the same time, and even went about bribing actual police officers to be involved with this whole plan. Holy fuck, man! I guess the takeaway from this entire manga is that YouTubers are the epitome of evil, and I hate that in most cases, that's kinda true. So yeah, while ultimately this manga had promise in the beginning, it turned into a real shit show by the end, and the inclusion of this man as the central antagonistic force was completely wasted, and virtually unrelated to the actual hoax in every way, only there to capitalize on its already existing popularity. I went into this video thinking we'd have something interesting to talk about, like we'd have an interesting take on a famous hoax but in manga form, only for me to be met with absolute disappointment. And frankly, this has got to be one of the most bizarre plots I've ever seen of anything, like ever. This is somehow crazier than Angel Season 4. So while I would normally implore you to read it on your own and form your own opinion, I think this video just became a public service announcement to not waste your time and read pretty much anything else. Normally this is the part where I say like and subscribe and all that bullshit, but I'm done. Thanks for watching, see you all soon with the next video.